In about 7 weeks, the Republicans will control the House, the Senate. Donald Trump will be president once again. But in the House specifically, where you're going to be serving another term, Republicans have a slim majority. So, in what ways, specifically when it comes to those big issues like the economy, like immigration, do you see the GOP working with Democrats?
Well, I think you're going to see in some cases. I mean, obviously, that's going to be on a case by case example. I think you've had some Democrats saying that they want to join in the cutting the Doge, committee and cutting parts of the government, the cutting part of the fat out of the bureaucracy. We are barreling towards 36, soon to be $37 trillion in debt. Like something has to be done. We may disagree on exactly what gets cut, but that's part of John Quincy Adams loved the House of Representatives because that's where you argued and debated, right? It's like we're supposed to argue these things out. We're supposed to represent the American people. We're supposed to disagree. But what hopefully happens is that in the end, we have this better outcome that you send to the Senate and send to the President of the United States. But that being said, I think you're going to see we do have a razor thin majority. I think you'll continue to see that for the next few Congresses, that because of redistricting, you only have about 24 seats that are ever going to be competitive until the next census. And so you're going to have this very narrow margin. I think you're going to see some bipartisanship. I do believe under President Trump's leadership and with Mike Johnson, and of course, in the Senate, you're going to see more Republican kind of cohesion. I'll predict for the first 6 months. After that, I can't make a prediction, but for the first 6 months, you're going to see a lot of everyone working together to try to get us on the right track for the economy, for the American people. Six months in a day, I don't know what'll happen.
Well, let's talk about those 6 months then while I have you. Where specifically are you going to see that Republican cohesion?
Yeah, I think, clearly first, I think, and again, I can't speak for the president. He's going to act swiftly to undo some of the Biden executive orders on the border and securing the border. I think you're going to see some deportations rather quickly. Obviously, that's liable to be litigated. And then behind that, you're going to see Congress moving to, you have House Bill 1, which was our energy independence bill. You have House Bill 2, which was to secure the border, et cetera. We passed a lot of good policy in the House of Representatives in the 118th Congress that the Senate never took up. So we have a template. We have a playbook that we can draw from. We've already run these plays. They've already been debated on the House floor. And so we can very easily re-up those. The vast majority of Congress is coming back. And so we can hit those and hit the ground running, which again is in my conversations kind of to emphasize President Trump is really focused on those first 100 days and making sure that we hit the ground running, that there isn't a lot of unnecessary disruptions so that we can get everything on track for the American people.
Is there anything in that playbook, especially when you look at the first 100 days, that where you're going to cut federal spending, and where can we expect that if so?
Well, I think that when you're looking at major cuts, that will take some time, but we know there's a lot of waste. We know there's a lot of fraud. And again, government by its nature is kind of designed to grow. We need to incentivize departments like you have to do at the local level. I was a county mayor or county executive prior to, where you try to incentivize your department heads they're not penalized if they can actually save $1 or $2 year over year. But that's not the way the federal government is designed to work. So we've got to get in there. And quite frankly, when you look at discretionary spending, which is that small portion of the budget that we tend to fight over, we can't cut enough out of that to fix the $36 trillion in debt. So we're going to have to grow our way out of this. We didn't get here overnight. We've got to unleash prosperity. We have to unleash the economy. And again, cut where you can and think long term as far as balancing the budget and those sorts of things. But also we've got to grow the economy, which has been a little more difficult under the Biden, or a lot more difficult under the Biden administration.